This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to a sick son of a bitch, actually. And you're also listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom. Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Good Friday morning. I'm sicker than the dog. I know my enemies probably love that. I'm not sick enough to die, I don't think. But if I am, well, never mind. I want to thank, we were out at Dr. Jazz. It's a real quaint place in Lebanon last night for a meet and greet. Had a lot of great people come out there, and I want to put a special thanks out to Norm and Mrs. Richter and their son for coming out, taking the time. I met some great people out there also, and I can't remember all the names. Want to thank Al and Kathy Allen, who live in Lebanon. Al was a teacher in Cahokia. Said he grew up in Shippen, Illinois. That's where our Kevin McCarthy, who works for us on KZQZ 1430 AM. They came out and had an ice cream with us, and great ice cream out at Dr. Jazz. Like I say, it's like a old soda fountain place. And I want to thank the ownership at Dr. Jazz for being so humble and so nice and letting us come out there and do our thing. So everybody in Lebanon, thank you very much for the great response. And we'll be out there walking the doors. I'm going to be walking all throughout my district starting next week. So anybody want to throw an egg at me or cuss me out, I'll be in Smithton, Lebanon, Millstadt. I'll be all around our district. You know, and I've said it 1,000 times, you know, politics aren't really for me. We just got in the race to St. Clair County Freedom Coalition because nobody else would. And this is a nasty blood sport, people. I would assume they're going to come out shortly with that I killed Kennedy, that I started World War II, and 4 or 5 other things. And I tell you, you know, unlike most of you guys, I'm far from being perfect. But it's always the negative. These bastards been in office 10, 12, 15, 20, 30 years. Mike Madigan been in office forever up in Springfield. They don't tell you what they've done. They try to expound on what their opponent has maybe made a mistake. Well, I don't give a damn about the mistakes somebody's made in the past. I don't give a damn about a ball player striking out yesterday. That was yesterday. I give a damn about him coming up to the plate today and attempting and trying to hit a home run, trying to win the game. We can't worry about what happened in the past, people. We got to worry about moving forward. That's the problem. We're stuck in the past. We have to move forward. We can't worry about what we did, the mistakes we've made, because that's all we'll do the rest of our life is worry about the mistakes we made. Let's move forward and try to do something positive. And I'll have to say, once you move forward and do something positive, you're going to make more mistakes. So you're just going to have to bear with the mistakes. Let's fight for the positive. Let's get rid of the negative. And speaking of positive, Charlie Meier, state representative from the 108th District out of Oakville, he'll be coming in momentarily. He's on his way in. And as always, Charlie Meier's here to discuss state politics. Very transparent gentleman. I've been with him several times in meetings, and he'll talk to anybody about anything. Charlie Meier's not going to duck you. Charlie Meier's an honorable man. He's a farmer from the Oakville area. He represents his people in the 108th District in a great fashion. They love him out there. We need more people like Charlie Meier. We don't have them. You got Kern, you got Sprague, you got all these ass-white bastards. They want to hide. They don't hide on payday. These son of a bitches don't hide on payday. They're all out and about. And you people know that I'm running for state representative. Win, lose, or draw, we give them a hell of a fight. But if I'm elected, I promise you, they'll have to put a gun to my head and then pull the trigger. I'll never vote to raise any tax. I think if we cut, and we'll have to ask Charlie about that, I think if we cut spending, we'll never have to raise taxes. Actually, we can lower taxes. We don't need these politicians like the Senator Foghorn, I say Buckwheat Claiborne from East St. Louis. Well, no, he's from Belleville. He's originally from East St. Louis, but once he got elected, they all move out of East St. Louis once they get elected. And I don't just mean the black politicians. I mean all the politicians. Got 8 or 9 of his lady friends, if you know what I mean, and I think you do, on the payroll up there. We don't need to pay for the senator's social life, I don't think, but we do. We pay for Madigan. Madigan's a big attorney out of Chicago. Works with tax bills. Hell yes, he wants the taxes raised. He wants property taxes raised, so you have to come to him. Corporations have to come to him, lobby him to help them out. So it's the old, let me break something so you can come to me so I can fix it. You guys been around. You know, this old okey fadoke, we're tired of that. And you hear me, I think 2016 is going to be the year. Also, hey, I'm hungry. I'm hungry, Mark Pussy Boy, also known as Maximus Vaginus Eckert. When is that Hoff Brew House going to be open? That sumbitch ain't going to be open before I die. I don't know. They may be open in time for me to have the reception for my funeral, which I hope is many years off. And if it is, I don't know if the Hoff Brew House will be ready. You people understand. See, here's the problem. And you hear me bitch about it every day. These son of a bitches lied to you. Why don't he just say, hey, we screwed this up. We screwed this up. They tell me that they can't do any more building. They're going to have to fix the streets, $2 million. Is that going to come from the Belleville taxpayers? And I got to say, Eckert might get elected again. He's up in April. These Belleville guys fighting him, they're not out helping us, and we're not going to go out and help them. See, that's the problem. Nobody cares about anything but their immediate wants and desires. We need people to help us in November so we can destroy the St. Clair County democratic culture of corruption, so we can open the door for everyone. But I'll tell you guys in Belleville, you're not helping us, buddy. None of you guys are helping us. So remember in April, when we slam the door on you, and people will say, Bob, you don't want to start a fight with them. I'll start a fight with anybody. It's not right. All these politicians in Belleville that hate Eckert, they're not coming to our defense. And see, we're all in the same boat, people. Every election influences every other election. We have to win in November. We have to beat Mark Sweet Cakes Kern. We have to beat God Sprague. We have to beat the St. Clair County democratic culture of corruption, because if we don't, they're going to beat us down. They're going to beat us down. Hey, and talking about beating people down, Ron Dupert, what an idiot. Now, you know he's running for judge. He's running against John Barasiewicz. And actually, it's kind of like you got to vote for the lesser of the two evils. And I just can't condone Ron Dupert. Ron Dupert's all up everybody's ass, all the elitist Republicans. And when I say elitist Republicans, please, as always, I want to identify the elitist Republicans. They're that little group in O'Fallon that has destroyed the Republican Party. Not the rank and file Republicans. They're good people. Rank and file Democrats are great people. Not the St. Clair County democratic culture of corruption. These two political organizations need to be in prison. Hell, they ought to visit me in prison. They'd have a good time, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. But anyway, Ron Dupert, you keep spreading crap about drug tests, and I am going to hound your ass until you apologize to that family that you brought their dead son into this political fracas that we got, this political fight. Family didn't deserve it. Don't even want to mention their name. They knew who I'm talking about. I don't want to bring up old wounds. But Dupert, what an ass-white bastard you are. Somebody, will you call this son of a bitch? Take this number down. It's 618-235-0800. Now, call him up and bitch at him. I personally wouldn't use him for legal services because he's not worth a damn. Drives around in a $150,000 Porsche, paid for, he told everybody. So that tells you that his fees are high. But I personally think his morals are awful low. Awful, awful low, if you know what I mean. And, Ron, I think you do that. Why do they call you wee-wee boy? Why do they call you wee-wee boy? Is it you like wee-wees? What are wee-wees? I don't even know, Dupert. Can you call me and tell me, you asswipe, no-count, rotten bastard? Don't you ever put somebody's family in your fight when they're not in the fight. And how the hell do you fight a dead man? And more than that, you no-good son of a bitch, how's a dead man defend himself? The man was wrong. The man did something wrong. You didn't suffer, Dupert. He suffered, gave his life. His family's still suffering. And you're going to be an asswipe bastard for a job as a judge? You're going to resurrect that with his children? His children going to have to go through that again? Think about it, Dupert. Show what a low-life, no-count son of a bitch you are. Also, and again, you know I'm running for office. See, I wish I wasn't running because I wouldn't have to preface all this. The NAACP in St. Louis, blacks demonized after being shot by police. You heard me yesterday at the end of the show. This gentleman, Keith Lamont Scott, got shot in Charlotte. Now they've linked him to the gun that was there. It wasn't a throwaway gun. And back in the day, there were a few bums with badges that have throwaway guns. This is linked back to a burglar that sold this gun that was laying at the feet of Mr. Scott, laying at his feet when he was shot. He had the gun in his hand and it fell to the ground. But why, and I don't give a damn if it's the NAACP or a white group. Why is it always the police department's fault? There's been times when the policemen are wrong, and when they're wrong, you arrest them, you put them through the court system. If they're guilty, you throw their asses in jail. They're no longer professional police officers, they're bums with badges. But let's just don't go out and loot and rob and riot because a guy gets shot. And I said it before. They're not looting and robbing and rioting over in North St. Louis where there's killing after killing after killing of black on black. And I say that to the proud black community. I don't want to see proud black people get killed. I really don't want to see the asswipe black people get killed, just as I don't want to see the asswipe white people get killed. But if we're going to get all excited, let's get excited about reality, people. Let's go over to North St. Louis. Let's go up to Chicago where they had 600 shootings over in a weekend. That's where the problem is. It's not with our police department. And these bastards, well, I shouldn't say bastards, they're maybe nice people. Over in St. Louis, they have 18 demands for policemen. And everybody say, hey, Bob, why are you harping on this? There's a lot of policemen I don't like, but I respect them all. I don't like this no-good son of a bitch, Bill Clay, the chief in Belleville, but I respect that badge that he has on. I respect the authority he has. You got to respect that authority, people. When a policeman pulls you over, you can't go crazy on him because this policeman don't know if you're a nutty son bitch like me. I put my hands out on the side of my window. I let him know. You don't know if yesterday this guy had an experience as officer with a guy with the gun. And he's afraid. These policemen aren't robots. These policemen aren't robots. They're people. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. We don't have to keep harping every time there's a shooting. It's a policeman's fault. And I got to go back, and I want to rewind a little bit, back to the Ferguson situation that started all this. Here's this Darren Wilson, a police officer who was a hero. Should have had a plaque. Should have been given an award. He lost his livelihood. His wife lost her livelihood because he was a police officer doing his job, protecting his community and protecting himself. Look what happened to him. There's going to be a point in time, people, that we're going to run all the decent police officers out. And the only bastards that are going to want to be police officers are the bums. They'll be robbing us and taking a report. They'll be stealing from us and then taking the report. They'll be killing us and taking a report because that's all we're going to have down the road if we keep this crap up. But these local leaders, and listen to this, in St. Louis, a coalition of area clergy. Now, that's what pisses me off. And civic leaders, my ass. Area leaders demand police reform. These are primarily black clergy and black leaders, as I see in the picture here. And it's going to piss some people off. But see, I don't care. Why the hell is there a police reform in North St. Louis, you idiots? Why isn't there criminal reform in North St. Louis? It's always easy to blame a police officer, to blame someone else for the problems that you guys have created. They want police reforms. Go to North St. Louis. What kind of police reform would help and stop the killings in North St. Louis? What kind of police reforms would stop the killings, all the wanton killings in Chicago? There's no police reforms that'll stop any of that crap, people. And you sit on your ass, I sit on my ass. See, I'm not sitting on my ass anymore. I told you what we're starting. We're starting the National Association for Majority Equality. I've got it all ready to go after this election. And it's not a black and white thing. It's a wrong and right thing. We're going to be for the majority no matter what it is. You've heard me. All the heterosexuals against the few transgender. The good guys against the bad guys. Majority should rule in this country. Think about it. The National Association for Majority Equality. Nothing but equal treatment, people. That's all we want is equal treatment, and we're not getting it. Who's out here with the policeman? Who's out here fighting for the policeman? You got every no good son of a bitch fighting for the bastard that got a gun and got killed by a policeman, rightfully so. You have riots in the street. Charlotte, all over. You know how many millions of dollars these ass-white protesters / criminals, they're not protesters, they're criminals, are costing you hardworking tax people? You're paying your hardworking tax dollars to watch these ass-white bastards, both black and white. Again, there's enough shame in this game to go around jumping on police cars. Now, that's really gonna make a difference. Some ass-white bozo jumping up and down, breaking the windows out of a police car. Now, I tell you that's going to make crime stop. Sure it is. No, it's going to make it worse because a policeman got to be over there protecting themselves and their property. Can't be out on the streets protecting me and you. You have to think of all the residual effects, people. And there's a whole lot of residual effects that come with these protests. The overtime for the policemen, the destruction, the hurt, the injuries. There's a lot of crap that goes on, and then it never gets better. And then area leaders, they're not leaders. If you guys were leaders, there wouldn't be the killings in North St. Louis. There wouldn't be the killings in Chicago. And I don't just mean black on black. I mean killings. I mean everything. You guys always want to flip the script. Well, let's quit flipping the script, you rotten bastards, because we're not going to take this crap anymore. We're going to stand up. We're going to stand up as Americans, black, white, men, women, Democrats, and Republicans. We're going to stand up. But these guys in St. Louis, the Reverend James Clark, Better Life, Family Life, suggest that the controversial police shootings around the country give relevance to everything. What controversy? There's been one or two semi-controversial killings throughout this country. But now they're going to make it like it's an epidemic? It's not an epidemic, people. These bastards just want to flip the script. And I tell you, if God come down and said, hey, this ass-white bastard killed in North Carolina and Charlotte had a gun, the protesters would say, God, you're wrong this time. He didn't have a gun. They don't know what the hell this guy had. But they put this crap out on social media, and it hurts everyone. And again, don't think I'm talking just black. I'm talking black and white. There's enough shame in the game to go around, people. It's unbelievable. But on a good note, in the paper last Monday, and we didn't get to it, a new statue commemorating Granite City North High School, the Steelers, was unveiled at the football field in Granite City. It says the statue recognizes North High School, which was opened in 1973 to 1983. And guess what? It's a statue of a laborer. It's a statue of a steel worker. It's a bronze statue or some kind of material of a steel worker. I want to salute everyone in Granite City who put that together. You know how good that makes me feel? That finally someone, a hardworking American, gets recognized other than these politicians. And I've told you before, if I'm elected, I will never vote to raise tax, and I will present legislation that never, ever, ever, ever again will a street, a road, a bridge, a building that's built by taxpayers' dollars be named after an asswipe, no good for nothing, sleazy, greasy, perverted politician. Let's give the people of this great country that have built this country, let's give them the honor. You know, the only danger these politicians go through is in the summertime. If the air conditioning goes out in the office that we're paying for, and they have to sweat a little bit, or in the wintertime, it's a little bit too cold, they have to put their jacket back on. That's the danger of a politician. They sit up in their ivory towers, people, and we're busting our ass. Steel workers, coal miners getting killed down in the coal mines, sucking up all that crap, getting disease in the lungs so we can have coal, and we don't remember them. I know Charlie Meier, when he comes in, he's a staunch supporter of the coal industry. When are we going to wake up, people? When are we going to understand that these no good, no count, good for nothing politicians, we don't need them. We need public servants. We need people that are going to work for us, not going to work for themselves. I'm running for state rep. I'm not taking a penny in salary. I'm not taking any benefits. I don't need it. I'm not greedy. It's like me having a full table of food and I'm filled up, and the people next to me at the next table are starving. And I say, no, that's my food. No, once I've had enough and I've made enough. It's time for me. It's time for the people that have made enough through the opportunities of this great country to give back. And I tell you, people, it'll make you feel good. You got to give back. You can't keep taking. Charlie Meier's coming in. He's a farmer. If he takes out of that field every day and doesn't put fertilizer, his crop next year is going to be no good. If we don't put some fertilizer in this country of ours, if we don't start helping each other, if we don't start giving a helping hand instead of a backhand, we're going to have the same problems, people. Going to have the same problems. We'll be talking to Charlie Meier about state issues. You can always call and talk to Charlie. We are America's voice of freedom, definitely the Patriot. You can call toll-free, 1-888-394-1430. On the east side, 394-1190. Charlie Meier will be back with us right after this break. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting at its finest. America's bi-state voice of freedom, your guardian of the First Amendment, Radical Radio. And we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, you hear me, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot. When I say I'm proud to be a patriot, I don't take that lightly, people. I love this great country. I'd die for this great country. I wouldn't walk down the street for these rotten-ass, white bastard politicians. We've got some callers. Go ahead, caller. You're on the dark side.
Hey, good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
It's Guy, Don Carlos. You and I have talked before.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you were talking about this deceased judge, and I agree with you. Out of respect to his family, let's leave that name aside. But who made the decision to put drugs in that judge's body? I believe he did. that makes him responsible for any shame or blame or whatever that falls on him and or his family. And having somebody else that wants to have a discussion about that in public and the impact that decision has on the courthouse in Belleville, if the judges in Belleville don't have to follow the law, why does anybody else have to follow the law?
Okay, here's what I have to say, sir, and I don't want to go too crazy, but I'm about ready to. Have you ever lost a child, sir? Let's quit playing politics in this game. Have you ever lost a child, sir? Yes or no?
No, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, and I hope you don't either. But let me tell you, and every other son of a bitch out there, that's going to bring this man's family into it. You know, this man's dead. He made a mistake. That had nothing to do with the other judges at the courthouse. This asswipe, no good son of a bitch, Dupert, put this man's picture out, sends out mailers with that crap on it to his family. His family got a picture, got a thing about her father dying. Their family dying. Are you nuts? Are you people crazier than I am out there? You want to talk about asswipe Dupert? I know you support him, and you all can kiss my ass. You understand me? That's right. That man made a mistake. He didn't hurt me. He didn't hurt you. Why is Dupert bringing up a dead man that made a mistake? Bring up the live man that he's running against. Don't bring up a dead man. Until you lose a son or a daughter, you don't have any skin in the game, and you can say and you can support Dupert. I know you're a supporter of Dupert, and I don't give a damn. Maybe you guys can all go have a circle jerk up at his office if you know what I mean, and I think you do. You know, sir, get the hell out of my life, will you? You understand what this bastard just said? Do you understand what he just said? This man made a mistake, and he's no longer around, and I'm sure he was an addict. That's a disease, people. That's a disease. He was an addict. But this Ron Dupert running for judge, he's so desperate, he's going to resurrect this dead man who can't defend himself. That's what a little bitch boy, pussy boy Dupert is. This family has to live that every day. It wasn't his family's fault. It wasn't this judge's family's fault that he made a mistake. We all make mistakes. Dupert makes a lot of mistakes with, well, I won't even go there. But this guy here, this guy that just called, he's from Ron Dupert, an unmoralistic son of a bitch. And this gentleman says it's okay to put in there about a judge. There's drugs at the courthouse. There's drugs in the White House, you idiots. There's drugs in the White House. We can't stop that. And I say to you, sir, and Ron Dupert, play hardball politics, because I play hardball politics every day. But don't resurrect the dead man who can't defend himself, who hurt no one but himself. And yes, he was a judge. He could have been a street sweeper. He could have been a bus driver. He made a mistake, and that mistake cost him his life. Let the dead rest in peace. There's enough live politicians to fight, you stupid son of a bitches. And y'all kiss my ass if you don't agree with me, because I don't care, people. I've been there. I've experienced the pain and the suffering that this gentleman's. I won't even mention his name, because I don't want to upset this family any more than this Dupert has upset the family. But people, do you understand? Do you understand? This judge made a mistake. Sure he did. Cost him his life. Family's going to suffer forever. And Ron Dupert, so desperate to be a judge? So desperate to be a judge. Go after Barra Civic. Go after the live judges, you asswipe little bastard bitch boy that can defend themselves. This poor man's in his grave. He can't defend himself, and his family's going to suffer forever. And I tell you, I'd run out of this race tomorrow. I would give it to LaToya Greenwood if it saved somebody's life, because being an elected official don't mean crap to me like it does to Dupert. Dupert, resurrect all the bad. Why don't you bring up about all the Jews that were killed, that were burned? That could be a good article for one of your campaign slogans. Dupert, you asswipe piece of crap, and anybody that defends him, sir, you or anyone, can kiss my white, hairy, stinky ass. We're going to take a break. Hey, I want to tell you now, Charlie Myers just walked in. Don't hold anything I've just said against Charlie Myers. Charlie Myers is a decent man. Unlike me, I'm going to speak my piece. I don't give a damn. Charlie Myers is a decent man, so I don't want to hear anybody say, Charlie Myers come in and defended Bob Romanik. Charlie Myers come in and endorsed what Bob Romanik said. I'm sure Charlie's shaking his head, but that's okay. This is America. I'm going to say what I want, and I will defend this dead judge's family till the end, I'll tell you. And until you've lost a family member, hey, I want to tell you what you idiot just called. How would you like it if something happened to one of your sons and then you were running for office and they put in there, oh, this guy's son blew his head off because he had a mental problem. Would you like to hear that, you son of a bitch? No, you wouldn't. I wouldn't. Nobody would. Let's take a break. I'm pissed at these ignorant bastards. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, and you're listening to a father lost his son, this no-good son of a bitch and duper. I hope you rot in hell, you bastard. Simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting at its finest. America's bi-state voice of freedom. Radical radio. And we are, as always, proud to be the Patriot. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio at its finest, and we are, as always, proud to be the Patriot. We've got some more callers. Go ahead, caller. You're on the dark side.
Bob, you there?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, first off, God bless America and God bless you, Bob.
Well, thank you, sir. We appreciate that.
I tell you, you're a dying breed. You're
Well, yeah.
the voice of the working man, and you restore faith to me, and I mean that with all my heart.
Well, sir, you know what? That's very humbling, and you know, I thank you very much. That means more to me than somebody sending me a $10,000 check, sir. I sincerely appreciate that.
I'm a God-fearing family man, and I'm one of the people, and you are the people's voice. This is all new to me. I'm not smart with politics, but I listen to you, and the stuff is the truth. And what it boils down to is that's what we need.
Well, sir, thank you very much. I'm glad you're a God-fearing man. If there's a God out there, we need all the help we can get. Thank you, sir. You made my whole weekend. One last thing. Hey, you ignorant son of a bitch who's supporting and saying that what Duper did was okay. Do you support him being charged with picking up a little black guy and touching him and being charged with molestation or being charged with fondling, whatever he was charged with? You want a judge sitting there? I think I'd rather have a judge snorting cocaine than a judge is sitting there diddling a young boy. I think. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. With me, just walked in the door, and I hope, Charlie, you didn't hear what the hell I was saying, because I know you're a Christian man, you're a nice man, but you're here to be transparent for your people. So again, people, don't hold anything I've said against Charlie Myers, because he's one decent man. He works with the Murray Center. He tries to help people, and it's an honor and a privilege to call him my friend. Mr. Charlie Myers, state representative from the 108th District out of Oakville. Charlie, how the hell you doing, buddy?
Well, Bob, I'm doing better than you look or sound.
Well, thank you.
You know, had you told me you were sick, I'd have brought you some balsam whiskey from home, and we could have had you up and kicking by the morning.
Yeah, we'd have been kicking something. Hey, Charlie, you've done a great job in Springfield. You've represented the 108th District. I get out to Clinton and Washington County. Great people. They love you to death. Isn't it a shame, Charlie? You're one man, and they think one man can change the world, and you can't, but you're up there fighting every day. And I just want to let the people of the 108th District know they're fortunate to have you, because there's a lot of things would be different in this state if Charlie Myers had the total say and the ultimate say so, wouldn't it?
Well, Bob, you know, I go up and I try to fight, and if you talk to people, they will tell you that one man does make a difference, because many people credit Murray Center is still open because of the fight that I helped put on, but there's a lot of good people that did that. We've saved lives there by keeping these residents there, and we are now able to bring new residents in, which happened just a few months ago. We have a gal excelling who's mother was told, well, maybe you should put her on hospice because of the care. She wasn't excelling. She was just dwindling away. And they moved her there. And this girl smiles. She makes eye contact with you now. And she's come a long way. And it's, so there is hope. And one person can make a difference. So if you get to Springfield, you can make a difference too. And you try. So, that's a good thing.
Well, Charlie, let me tell you before you go any farther. No, you didn't work for the cause. You led the charge. And if people have to get out to Murray Center to see the less fortunate kids, just like the people that have lost a child, until you've experienced it, you don't really understand. But I say, Charlie, they're bringing people in. You were fighting to keep it from being closed, and now it's made 100% turnaround. And I want to salute you because those people at Murray Center don't have anybody fighting for them but you. You're a true soldier, Charlie. And I and everybody that's been out to the Murray Center, everybody that has a family member a little less fortunate that may be out there, I know they love you to death, and I want to salute you. You're one hell of a man. You're fighting the fight. You don't have a dog in the fight other than those who are decent, good people that you're trying to protect. So thank you very much.
They are good people, and we've had many good people help us on both sides of the aisle with that. But, Bob, I came today because I just wanted to say it is campaign season, and there's going to be a ton of mailers going out saying every which thing and everything that's going on and how everybody voted. And
you mean the state reps, how they voted?
State reps, state senators. And for the last year and a half, Madigan and Cullerton have had sessions and where we met once a week during the summer last year and everything. And all these was so they can get their political flyers ready to mail out now. And everybody's going to see these soon. And all these candidates can say, well, I voted for lower taxes. I voted for independent mapping. I voted for term limits. Well, Madigan ran a bill, Cullerton ran a bill. Each one wanted to make sure their bills would never go out of the House or be released from the Senate. So their contested races can go out there and say, well, we voted for that stuff, but it couldn't go through. Well, it wasn't designed to go through. They never wanted that bill to move from one chamber to the other. All they wanted that for is so you could see the smiling face on that candidate form mailed out. And that's what everybody's going to be seeing soon. Remember that they control super majorities in the House and in the Senate. If things haven't happened, it's because they didn't want them to happen.
Yeah, it's the old oak. It's the old
balanced budget.
Yeah, that's the old Okie Fadoke. But you're right, Charlie. They're going to flip the script. But Charlie Myers, you heard what he said, people. The Senate and the House is controlled by the Democrats. If something doesn't get done, it's because of the Democrats. And if it be Republicans, I'd say I'm not talking party politics. I'm talking about what's best for this state. And Charlie, is this budget ever going to get taken? I know you're fighting to try to get it squared away. Is this budget ever going to get resolved?
The state of Illinois could save so much money if we had a budget. And it's not being allowed to move. We can't do anything about it. The supermajority stops it. The House is supposed to put out an annual figure of how much money is going to be brought in that year. That was never even done. There was no figure even given to the governor, an estimate on how much revenue the state of Illinois would bring in. We did not even do that, and that's breaking our Constitution. So it's rules don't matter up there, and I want jobs. Jobs is how we grow out of this. We don't grow out of this by raising our taxes. We grow out of this by creating jobs. I wish Granite City Steel was working full steam. We have other steel factories in America working. Where were the votes for workman's comp, true workman's comp? Where were those votes so we could have kept Granite City Steel open? We shouldn't be worried about if we have to give them unemployment. We should have gave them jobs. Those workers wanted jobs. They didn't want unemployment. Go ahead and stand up. Let's get workman's comp. Let's get TART reform. Let's get Granite City open up so they can make money like the other steel factories throughout this country are. And let's go ahead and get Keystone Pipeline going. These pipelines create these jobs for Granite City Steel. And it seems to be the other party is stopping these jobs across the country. They've killed coal.
Yeah,
they've killed Southern Illinois.
That,
And we have to do something. We need wind and solar, but we cannot depend on wind and solar all the time. And when there's volcanic activity in the world, that blacks out solar. We've got to have backup. We've got to have coal. We need coal jobs. We can burn clean coal like we're doing at Prairie State in this country. The technology is there, and we need Illinois coal burning in Illinois power plants.
Yes. How's the governor, Charlie? And I know you probably don't really know, but what's your take on the governor getting some of his people elected this time to try to make it a two-party system again. And always in a two-party system, the people benefit.
There's a lot of money being spent on these races. I look at this in all from both sides, and I'm helping with several races, very much so at them. And we need a two-party system. We need to be able to work together and change things. And I've watched Rauner come in with his plan and his 50, 54, 58 points, and he's given in on different things. And there's some things he will not give in on. I have yet to see Mr. Madigan and what he's given in on yet. He is stuck to his gun that this is it. It's his way or no way. And we've tried to work with him, and we just cannot work with him. Yes. So we have to take votes away from Mr. Madigan.
Madigan, and people understand, if it was a Republican, I'd be all over his ass because, I don't give a damn about politicians. I give a damn about public servants like Charlie Myers. But this Madigan has been around so long, Charlie. I hope that people understand this could be the perfect storm 2016. We could get some Republicans in, not because they're Republican by name, because they're going to fight the culture of corruption in Springfield, and that's what you guys need. We need fighters up there, don't we?
We need fighters. And if you look at polls, Madigan and Rauner are both disliked in the state of Illinois. Madigan has been there 42 years, and Rauner has been there not even 2 years, trying to make a difference. We have to change what has been set up by this. I believe Speaker Madigan is one of the smartest people in America, one of the smartest politicians, because look what he's done. Look at it. Look at how he has built this really truly kingdom for himself.
Yeah, it's more of a kingdom than a democracy. Charlie, what do you think of the presidential race? Where are we going with that?
Oh, Bob, how do you even talk about the presidential race? I am voting for Trump. I cannot vote for Hillary because I cannot see having Hillary give the judgeships out. Our Supreme Court justices being named by Hillary Clinton will take 40 years. Some of these judges may serve, and we cannot do that to America. We cannot do that to America if we want to keep this country great. So I am supporting Trump. I will back him all the way, and I'm happy to do it. Hillary repeatedly says that she will follow Obama's policy, which means no more coal, be hard on natural gas, and it's going to cost the average citizen probably in a few years. Our electric bills will double or triple once we're switched all the way over, because the federal government is using our tax dollars to support solar and wind. And we need these programs. But we as taxpayers are paying for it already. And now when we do away with coal, we take that option out, our power bills will double or triple.
Hey, Charlie, what's on your personal plate in your world today?
Oh, Bob, I've got a lot of things going on. On October 9th, I will have my gun raffle, and we will be up in Bartelso. The Bartelso firemen will have their trap shoot that day. And this weekend, as all weekends, is always very busy. And I'm probably going to sound like you in another day or two, Bob, because I've been hauling manure yesterday in the rain on an open tractor, and I was out there this morning before I came. So if you smell anything, it's me.
I've been talking manure. You've been hauling this.
I've been spreading it on the farm.
And me too.
And but I want to tell you, I've got a lot of things going on in my district on Sunday. The Marine Lions Club pancake and sausage breakfast is Sunday. Highland American Legion's sausage and pancake breakfast is Sunday. Starting at 11 o'clock on Sunday, I have the Breeze chicken dinner at St. Dominic Parish, and that one runs till 6. The Trenton St. John's Worstmart runs from 11 till 6. The Germantown Soup and Song at Cheney's Park runs from 11 till 4. The Bartelso Spaghetti Dinner at St. Cecilia Parish is from 11 till 2. New Memphis has a chili dinner at the Lutheran Church. Breeze has their shooting match at Rod and Gun. So there's a lot of things, and I'll make most of those, Bob. I may not make all of them, but I'll make most of them. There's a reason why I'm so fat, Charlie, because I like to go and eat.
You gain another 30 pounds, but Charlie, that's why the people love you out there, because at this point, you've done such a good job. The Democrats didn't even give any opposition to you, and that is really the ultimate compliment, because they know they can't beat you, because you're out. Even though you have no opposition, you're running like you've got 4 people running against you, and even if you had 30 or none, you're out there for the people. You give back to the people, and I just hope I could do the same if elected, and I just wish every state representative, every state senator, every state and local politician would give as much as you, Charlie, because you got my heart when you fought for the Murray Center. I saw the kids out there. I've tried to help out all I can help out. Don't have a dog in the fight, but I love people, and I love you for loving the people that you love.
Well, Bob, I believe if you get elected state rep, and I hope you do, I believe that you can make a difference here, and I will be glad to help you try to make a difference. It's, whether you're helping that one family or whether you're helping bring in that new business or you're helping somebody through an EPA situation, there's sometimes you're not going to succeed, and you feel terrible about it. We've been working with a lady for over a month, and I cannot believe I can't get her situation taken care of, and she has my heart and soul. I really, this lady's in the right, but bureaucracy is in the way. But we've got to go out, we got to fight, we got to do what's right, and we got to keep trying to help these people. And I'm still trying to help her to see if we can't make something work for her. So
something's going to work for all of us. I'm going to fight to develop that riverfront, Charlie, because we've got a couple more minutes. We'll go over a little bit. I tell everybody all throughout the county, how East St. Louis goes is how this whole county goes. We can develop, with your help, with the state's help, develop East St. Louis. They'll have jobs. They'll have a tax base. They'll be off the aid rolls. Everybody benefits if we can develop East St. Louis. Not only how East St. Louis goes, how the county goes, it's probably how the state will go, because it'll bring more jobs. It'll bring more people back to a great community of East St. Louis.
Oh, I agree, Bob. And I see a lot of reports. And there was one report out there, best places for businesses to locate. And East St. Louis was in the top 5.
Right.
Because of the fact that infrastructure is right there, the riverfront is right there, and the property is cheap, and it's time for the turnaround there. And instead of taking money from here, it's time that we go ahead and we create jobs, and we create jobs here in St. Clair County, jobs that make things, that produce things, not fictitious jobs that people get paid for.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem, Charlie, and I say it, and they say, oh, Bob, you're talking racial. It's the white politicians in St. Clair County that have kept that development down, because once the proud black community gets the opportunity to have a job, to get out of the reins of the Democratic culture of corruption in St. Clair County, they're no longer beholden to the Democrats. So the proud black community, remember, by you voting these no good son of a bitch and destructive, corrupt Democrats in St. Clair County, they're going to keep you on the plantation because they don't want you to succeed, because they want to control your votes. Quit letting them control your votes. Control your own destiny. Let's develop the riverfront. Let's put you people free at last. And Charlie Myers, with your help, with the state's help, I'm going to fight if elected. Last word goes to you, Charlie.
Well, Bob, I want to tell you about a young man that I met. I'm going to run you over a couple minutes, but
That's all right.
I want to tell you this story. I was with my girlfriend, and we were visiting some of her family in Kansas City, and we were staying at a hotel there, and we got back, and we went down to the bar to have a drink. And yes, I'll have a drink every now and then, Bob. But we're sitting
More
there.
now than then, maybe, but go ahead.
We're sitting there, and we're talking, and there's this young man there, and he said, "Where are you from?" And we said, "He goes St. Charles." And I said, "Well, I'm from southern Illinois," and told him where. And he said, "Well, I was from East St. Louis." And he said, "I realized when I was about a sophomore in high school that if I wanted a life, I had to get out of East St. Louis." And he said, "I was fast." And he said, "I got on the track team. I got a scholarship." He said, I did really well. I went to college up in, I think it's in Iowa or South Dakota. And he said, I was doing well with my scholarship. And in my sophomore year, he said, my mother had another child. And he said, my mother was an addict. He said, when that baby was 9 days old, me and my college roommates took my baby sister and raised her while I did my track scholarship. Yeah. He said, that is my daughter now. I've raised her as my daughter. He said, I manage 4 hotels now. My sister works for me. And he says, We have gotten my mother the help she needs. She's dried out, and she's living up here with us now. Now, that is somebody that wanted to make a difference and made a difference for himself and realized he needed education, and he went any way to get it, and he's done something. I only wish that he could be back in this area helping more people like him, but he has done an excellent job. I was very proud of him. He did not buy a drink the rest of the night, Bob.
Well, Mr. Charlie Myers, always an honor to have Charlie Myers, your state representative from the 108th Legislative District out of Oakville. People in the 108th District are proud to have you as their rep, Charlie. Good luck to you. Hopefully we can all work together to make this state a little bit better. Mr. Charlie Myers, thank you very much. Listen, we got to go. We're running out of time. But I got to say, Ron Dupert, you no good piece of political crap. Don't you ever bring somebody's death of a family member into any election process. It doesn't need to be. There's enough crap you can talk about. You don't have to talk about a dead man where his family is still suffering, you rotten, no good son of a bitch. Having said that, I hope everybody, including Ron Dupert and his asswipe guy that's supporting him, maybe they're driving around looking for some young black men. I don't know. That's just my opinion, of course. I hope everyone has a safe weekend. And remember, people, as Charlie Myers said, we can make a difference. Let's all unite to make that positive difference before there'll be no positive left in this country. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you've been listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom. Radical radios, as you just witnessed, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Again, everyone have a safe weekend. Friend and foe. We can fight politically, but we all have families to go home to at the end of the night. And as I've always told every policeman I've talked to when I was a chief, two things our first responders need to do. The second is provide and protect your citizens. That's what you get paid for. The first thing you do is go home to your family because they're the only ones who truly love you, who truly respect and understand you. So let's all make it home safe this weekend, friends and foe. And politically, let's continue to unite people. Democrats, Republican, men, women, black and white, independents. Let's don't vote the party. Let's vote for the person who's going to do for us, our community, our country, to make our country great again. So let's unite. Let's expose and continue day in and day out. And it's a hard journey. But let's expose these rotten, bastard, political, parasitical, perverted punks that we call politicians, these asswipe, low-life, bottom-feeding son of a bitches. And let's destroy them, people. I mean destroy them. Because if not, they're on the track to destroy us. Us, the people. We, the people. So let's destroy them on the dark side. And politically, of course, don't want to go to jail. See you later.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha. To the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time. And I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats. And they're coming to take me away,